Terminal freeze. A group of scientists go out to study global warming. The group finds a creature. Another group of reporters come in and disturb things around the base. Animal farm. The animals were living a good life for the most part. Then they rebelled against Farmer Jones. Life was okay after they rebelled, but then there was no peace.
People think recycling is a waste of time.
I think it's because they don't actually see the impact of it. You know, you can compare it to cleaning your room. Your mom says clean your room, and you just see it as work, and you don't quite see the impact that it really truly does make. If you didn't clean your room, what would be happening? You would continue to pile up and pile up and pile up.
I agree. How do eco-friendly cars help the environment?
I think sometimes the question we need to ask is, do they really help the environment?
Yeah.
Because in order to produce electricity, 40% of our electricity, as we were talking, comes from burning coal.
Right.
And in order to make electricity, you have to burn coal. Or, then you've got natural gases and other forms of fossil fuels, but the renewable energies aren't really being utilized.
I agree. Why do you think how does fuel-run cars negatively impact the environment?
Well, I think sometimes to think negatively, you also have to think positively. Negatively, the burning of fossil fuels releases gases into the atmosphere, which ultimately becomes a problem. The more cars you put on the road, the more of those gases then make it into the atmosphere. But, at the same time, thinking positively, because everything is always a trade-off, gasoline engines are by far 60 to 70% more efficient than electric gasolines. And what I mean by that is the amount of energy they produce to run the car is less energy in the end needed produced for an electric car.
Global warming greatly affects our planet. What do you propose we should do besides recycling and saving energy?
Well, we have to convince people that global warming truly does exist. And as I was talking about, there's a whole host of problems. It's like the situation where 97 out of 100 scientists will tell you that global warming exists. But 3%, just because we're the type of people that like to, be skeptics, will say, no, it doesn't really exist. But the problem is that 3% gives a part of society that doesn't wish to accept these things. It gives them a place to be. So now you've got politicians saying, well, global warming doesn't exist. Here are my doctors and my scientists that can prove it. But, as the scientific community as a whole, really around 100 or around 95%. I would absolutely say that,
I believe people truly are not concerned about global warming. Do you think they are not concerned because they do not understand how it affects our Earth?
I would absolutely say that, and it's not to take a cheap shot at the generation, but people are more concerned about social media, where they're going to dinner, what video games they're playing. They're concerned about their little life within, a 5-mile radius of where they live.